Boom. All right. Nice. You're going to start with, let's start with the salsa. Go that route. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put the jalapenos and onions in here. So we'll just go ahead and get this out and get the blade guards off. This is my hand crank food processor. So take the covers off the blades. Put it in there. Set these over here for now. And okay. Yep, I'm good there. So I'll set that up there. Grab this. And we need a 1/4 cup of yellow onion. So in order to measure this out correctly, I'll set those right there. So I'm going to make a double batch of this. So you can see all the ingredients I have up there. Boom. Let me get started here. And so we're going to need a 1/2 cup of yellow onions. And I am going to, first you start off with a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup in our situation of yellow onion, which is yellow onion, and the 4 teaspoons of jalapeno that are diced. They were out of jalapenos. Wow, that's really juicy. When I went shopping earlier today, so I went with poblano peppers, which should be a close approximation of this, and I just peel these off here. Slit that, roll it over. That, and we'll get a paper towel here to wipe my hands off. Cat's going in nuts. Okay. So we need them obviously diced. So I'll get rid of this skin and slice that. And we'll go, I think a 1/2 cup ought to be about 1/2 an onion. So we'll see how right I am. I don't like big chunks of onion. This is going to sit overnight, obviously, because it's for the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's going to be breaking into little pieces. So move this out of the way. To be honest with you, I should probably just cube this up and let the handy dandy food processor do the rest of the work. So we'll just do that. Also cut down on my tears. You get to the point where you can just barely start tingling with your eyes as far as the onions are concerned. That's when you know you cut it close. I need to get counter towels. Maybe some counter towels with a logo or something made up. So, but anyways, move that up there. This cuts in and then just start hand cranking. I want to go a little finer, but let's see. Looks pretty diced up. Yeah, we'll give it a couple more spins. Call it good. Oh. And get centered on the... Alright. So there's that. Alright, and let's go grab this all. I need a large mixing bowl. I'll just use that white bowl. I'll go rinse it out. That looks like half a cup. We'll get these avocados out of there for now. I just wanted to keep them from rolling off on the onto the floor. Wash this out. We'll use this to combine everything. Alright. There's that. Need to get a couple more large bowls because I use them for quite a bit, especially now that I'm doing the stream, so be worthwhile. Alright. I should get a small bowl to hold everything in and then the individual ingredients. Alright. All kinds of bowls. So, put these in here first, because I'm going to use this for the peppers as well. Alright. So there's that. There's our onions. All nicely diced up. So those go there. And blades back in there. And set that there as well. And we'll get ready for the peppers. So I'm doubling everything because I'm making 2 batches of the salsa and 3 batches of the guacamole and 4 teaspoons of jalapenos. We're going to go obviously with the poblano peppers, but which are kind of a cross between a jalapeno and a green pepper, which will help cool the salsa down a little bit. And if we're looking at, was it teaspoon? Yes, teaspoons. So we're going to go, just to get a visual idea, we're going to go ahead and this in large sections. That one's fine. Put that in there. That's fine. This one has a couple of seeds left in it. And throw that in there too. And this one just has that seed. Also cut them both up. Yeah, there's that. Okay. And that one is fine. Make sure there's no seeds down in there. Oh, that one's fine. These have all been pre-washed, by the way, in case anybody is wondering. And again, I don't know how much this is going to make diced up, but since I don't make a habit of using these peppers anyways, we're just going to dice it all and see where we stand at the end. So there's that. We'll set the onion over here and dump the rest of this, the unusable parts of the pepper out a little bit. There. There's that. Alright, let's get this out of there. Set that there. This is all of our pieces of the pepper. So just clean that up. Alright, and let's dice this up. Eventually, I will invest in a full-size food processor, but let's take a look. It's getting there. You can see some progress, but I'll go a little bit longer. Make sure I get that lined up right, and I do. We'll crank it around till we get diced up. All right, almost done. Okay. Yeah, will definitely work. So remove the blades. This is way more than I will definitely end up using, but like I said, I got the peppers, and rather than them going bad, I'm just going to prepare them all, and in case I end up using them. Put that over here so everybody can see. I'll just pick out some of the larger pieces by hand and alright. There's that, and let's see. All the larger pieces. There. You can see they're all finely diced up. We'll set those aside over here. You can see the prep with the, set those aside. And, alright. Both cans of tomatoes. Alright. So, this is where it's going to start going in together here. So, I'm going to do, it was 4 teaspoons. And this is a teaspoon. So we're going to go, with a double batch, we're going to go with 8 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3. Again, trying to get smaller pieces here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, again, made way too much. And the half cup of yellow onion, which is double the quarter cup. Reference, that is a third. This must be the half. Half cup. Alright. That looks good. Alright, there are the onions. And we'll take this and move everything out away from the center so that that hub will sit down in there well. Alright, so there's that. There's our piece so far. Alright, and both cans of tomatoes, salt, sugar, and cumin. So, we're going to go with the ounce, they say 14-ounce can. I could not find a 14-ounce can, so I got 2 10-ounce cans, which should be fine. I'll just go drain the liquid out of these. And very good. Alright. So this is, like I said, slightly over the amount the recipe calls for, but and I need to grab my can opener for the other can. The dish drainer. As always, I'm so prepared. Boom. Alright, let's get that wiped up. And then open this up, and this is exactly the 2 times the size. Actually, I should add that third can in as well. Alright. There. That let go. I'm going to go ahead and cover this up. Press that down. This is going to be just right. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm probably making way more salsa than we'll need, but it's gonna fit, I think. Fit in there. There's that lid down in there. Set that over there out of the way. And that garlic, salt, cumin, and sugar. All right, here we go. Garlic, salt. We'll do 1 teaspoon. Brand new container. All right. I'll go a little more. Just for fun. All right, so set that there. Probably should just put this last can in there. Let's go drain the fluid out of this one. All right. Stuff already smells really good, so. All right. So there's that. Just wipe that excess tomato juice up. So, and one of the reasons I like Chili's salsa the way I do is because it's very, I don't know, like it's not super chunky, but it will, you know, you can pick up, you know, a chipful and you get part of each ingredient. It's not, you know, sometimes you don't get any pepper. Let's see where we're at. That is getting there. Really? There we go. Keep going. Plus this is a workout. Should have my fitness tracker on so that I can get some credit for this. Because it doesn't happen if you can't count it, right? But, and these hand mixers here that I have, these were like $15 a piece, and they come with a bunch of attachments. So there's that. Now that that is mixed up, I have a couple more ingredients. The cumin, a teaspoon of cumin, and a half teaspoon of sugar. Yes. We'll add those in. Again, new container. So, oh yeah, that'll work. So, let me put my lid back on my garlic salt. Boom. And do this the other way around so I have a little more control. Alright. This is really going to put it over the top with the salsa flavor. Alright. Yep, that'll work. And a half teaspoon of sugar. And I didn't put my sugar up there. It's going to be over here. Alright. I don't use a ton of sugar, so I don't really keep it on hand over in my main section where I keep most of my spices. But 1/2 teaspoon, which is again making a double batch of the recipe. So, and if you were wondering about the 3 cans, each of these cans is, I don't know if that'll focus in on it well enough to see, but they're 10 ounces each. And the recipe calls for 14.5 ounces, or I'm doubling it, it would be 29. So 3 10-ounce cans is really only 1 ounce off, so there's that. Alright, just a little bit to take away some of the acidity, I'm assuming. And I've never made this recipe before, so I've had chili salsa, of course. I think most everybody has, except for my son apparently, who's told me that he has not had chili salsa. So, and this is one of those things, the reason why I'm making it the night before is that it's one of those things that gets better as it has a chance for all the flavors to kind of, you know, choose whatever word you like best for integrate. Ooh, yeah, I wanted a little more. Let's see what kind of consistency we have going here. That needs to be broken up a little more, so we're going to go some more with that. But it smells really good, as you know, as much as salsa does have a, it doesn't have a super strong scent to it. With an electric food processor, this might be a little easier, but again, check that. Oh, get back down there. Alright, I think a little bit more cranking. And it's still going to have enough of a, yeah, you guys can see that totally. Let's move this down a little. I'll show you where we're at right now. This is the consistency it's at. Ooh. Looks pretty good. Oop, don't put that down the post hole in the center. But there's one tomato that's still kind of holding together a little bit. Alright. I think that will do it. Yeah. So, we'll get that out. And I'm going to need a container to put this in. So give me just a moment. Thought I washed that one, but apparently not. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. So, put this in the bowl, large bowl here. Sorry for damaging everybody's hearing, but we'll use this white bowl for now. Because I have a container for the guacamole, which I'm going to show you as soon as I get this in the bowl. And it's pretty awesome, because if you've ever made guacamole or bought it, you know it's kind of temperamental as far as time is concerned, just like the way when you slice up an apple. But there's not really a method to, like with an apple, you can just put lemon juice on the sliced up apple pieces, you know, and it will keep it from oxidizing and turning brown. Guacamole's a lot more difficult in that regard. So oop. Yeah. Boom. Look at that. that's amazing. Looks like I need some more paper towels. I even managed to weed out a couple of the larger onion pieces. So, worked out really well. And we'll swap this out, grab a new roll. That is a lot of salsa too. It is, it is, it is. If I had more tomatoes, I might make more because I made a lot of peppers and a lot of onions. But we're gonna have to use a different color onion for the guacamole because that is how it's done. There's that. And wipe that off, set that right up here. And we'll move this up because this one is going to be used. This one is going to need to be cleaned. And you just take it apart like that. There are certain things you can buy that are super cheap, but they don't work well because they're super cheap. This is one of those things that you can buy, and I bought this right at Walmart for, like I said, I think they're like $10 or $15. And this is the box here, I'll show you. Right here. See if I can make it. Right here. And you can see all the stuff it comes with, the slicing, like the mandolin on the top, and comes with like a thing you can use to turn dough, I'm assuming. I haven't even really used this for everything, or whip stuff up, I guess. And there's the top that you just set right into this section here. And also the hand guard so that you don't end up slicing and dicing your hand like I've done in a few of them. I'm getting excited and going too fast. So, now that we're there, let's get some guacamole going. I'm going to take a picture of this and post it on the Instagram, so. Because it doesn't happen unless you get the pictures up on social media. You guys listen to Gary Vee at all? This is the motivation for young people. I ain't young people, but I'm assuming this is. Let's rotate this. There we go. All right. Let's get a different one. I want to try to kind of capture how much this is. How much salsa we're talking here. Yeah. There we go. Boom. Just happened. Alright, so we're going to set this over here. And we are going to get going, like I said, on the guacamole. And this is Chipotle's, literally Chipotle's recipe. They have the recipe right on their website. This isn't anything I'm magically entitled to that anybody else can't just go to chipotle.com and get their recipe. This is for a single batch that they go over. It's here, I'll show you. This is literally printed off their site. It's 2 Hass avocados, 2 teaspoons of lime juice, 2 tablespoons of cilantro, 1/4 cup of red onion, finely chopped, half a jalapeno including seeds, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. So again, we may end up using enough of that pepper that we just diced. So let's go ahead and get my avocado tool, which I don't get to use very often nowadays. I really should use it more. And go ahead and use this. And again, we're going to, if you haven't seen one of these before, it is a avocado tool. I'm not really so much concerned. This is a tool that you can use to slice the avocado up once you cut it open. This is the tool to remove the pit and a plastic blade. This is how you use them. Very easy. You just put the blade into the end, turn it around roughly in the center, as close to the center as you can get, and then twist it. One half will come out with the pit, and this is a roughly weird shaped pit, so this one's not going to come out right. Because if there's anything I know, it's that doing anything on live video, things are going to go wrong. And it doesn't matter because this is coming out, so if this happens to you, which it will eventually, you just cut this out around it, and boom, there's that. And I'm gonna need that bowl for that, but we'll put that right in there with the onion. All right, and you can still use this tool to slice the avocado up. I'm going to, I don't know if that'll all fit in there, but we're going to try it. Same deal with the other one. Let's go ahead and remove the blades, because, I mean the blade covers I should say. Come on. There's that. There. And you use to do this with the tool. You simply set it in here like this, start it, and then work it through. This one I'm going to mess up because it's kind of past the point of no return. But it works both as like the spoon and a slicing blade. These avocados are really ripe, so they're kind of squished on me, but get the idea. And there. That. And I want to make sure I don't get any of the cover in here. Alright. I think we are good to go. 1/2 down. And again, this is going to get all cut up here shortly anyways. I'm going to work the avocado in this hand blender mixer. for a little bit before I put any of the other ingredients in. Just simply because some of these are really ripe and some of these they're varying ripeness. That would be the easiest way to say it. Some of them are super soft, some of them are less soft, but I want them to all be blended together. They're all ripe, but they're just not all super soft. So I'm making a triple batch. That means tripling every ingredient. And for 2 avocados for each. So that means I'm going to be going with 6 total. This is a more traditionally shaped avocado. So I'm going to go ahead and use the tool again. You can see how much softer this one is. Go ahead and rotate that. Yeah, see, it's right on the verge of starting to turn brown. There's that. Let's get that pit. Let's put them in there. And scoop this out. Make sure I don't put the pit in there. Alright. Same thing again. Alright. Watch out for the metal measuring cups. And this thing, and the only thing is it does make a mess sometimes. It's fine if you're using it for 1/2, but it has a tendency to build up and get greasy. So we're going to forego that for the more traditional method that everybody knows and loves with a knife. So that's 2, so I need 4 more. So we're going to go ahead and take the knife, pass it around the avocado from an angle that everybody can see, even though I just cut it the wrong way. Set that down, and then you take the knife, and not with a lot of force, you just tap it, and then it comes out. Like that. And generally speaking, it comes off your hand very. And once you do that, you just get a spoon, regular spoon like this. And it works way easier than the other tool, but this way you don't get the nice uniform sections, which you can get by pre-cutting this, but then that's more work. All right. 3 down. 3 to go. Pop that tip out. Cut it around. Again, spin it. Set that half aside. That half out. And again, be careful when you're taking the pit out of off the knife, because sometimes they're on there fairly well if you apply a little bit too much pressure. Alright. And this guacamole is really simple. There's not much to it. But that's part of what makes it really good, is that there's not, you know, spices from Madagascar that you have to, you know, track down at the one store in the continental United States that sells them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more. All right. begin. I'll show you an easy way to protect your hands while you're doing that in a second. At least one that's worked for me. Much better than using the mandolin slicer, which I've had issues with. Alright, and this one's probably a little more solid than the other ones. I mean, it's still, like I said, it's still ripe, it's still good to go, but it's going to require a little more processing. There's that. Okay. And I keep getting this avocado on my hand. One more. Real soft one here. There's that. And like I said, to do this, I'm going to pop this pit off, but you grab the knife like this, like that with your hand, and you just push. Doesn't require a lot, you're just squeezing it like that, and it will pop it off, and you don't have to get your hands on the other side of the edge. Just a trick that's worked for me, not really a pro tip or anything, but easy to mention while we're already doing it. That's that. And again, keep in mind this batch is 3 times as large as what you would normally make, or at least what the recipe makes. They make a large amount of it, obviously, at Chipotle. So, 2 teaspoons of lime juice. We're going to go with 6 teaspoons. And I'm going to wash this off because if not, I'm going to get garlic salt and everything through. All right. Need to get a way to mount that solidly. All right. So let's open the lime juice here. One thing I hate about the lime juice is it's always difficult to poke a hole in. Let me get a short bladed knife, a paring knife. This, and just poke a hole in it. And get your hands out of the way. Alright, so we're going to need 6 teaspoons. This is a single one, so I'm going to count them off. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm counting them just short of being completely full because some of it's dripping past anyways. So, clean while you cook a little bit. It's not going to have to go in the sink anyways. So that's in there. And that's a little bit of liquid I wanted to put in there so that this would all have something to blend with. Some people like avocados. My son likes. Any tips for picking the right avocado? Absolutely. It's all about the feel. of an avocado. This is one that I didn't end up using. This one is, the reason I didn't use this is because this one's actually too hard. You want it to literally feel like, you know, the muscle in your hand, in your thumb, when you push on it. Like it has a little bit of give, but it's still fairly solid. So, and it's, you'll notice it when you'll feel ones that you feel like you're gonna crush just squeezing it. Those are probably a little bit past, you know, and the further they get, the more soft they get, the more, you know, past they're going. And generally speaking, when they get to be more this color on top, this darker purplish brown, and less of the green, then that is also a way to help tell. But it's definitely go by the texture, because this one here, I don't know why I grabbed this one, because this one's probably going to have to go back, but, or not go back, but just not be used. So I'm going to go ahead and start cranking this to break up this, mix up this avocado. And again, some of them are not quite as firm as that one, but some of them are fairly firm. But these are bladed knives, so they're going to help push everything up. You can use a potato masher and everything as well. I'm doing this because it's going to help get everything up to a really soft and smooth consistency. See, just getting there. Just that. Doop. Grab this and push it down all back into the center. And again, if I'd have been planning better, I would have gotten avocados that were all right on the verge of going bad, because those are the best ones to use, because they're the softest. On the verge, but not gone bad. Okay, getting there. Give it a couple more spins around, and I have a couple of more ingredients to put in. I just wanted to alright. So it's getting there. You can see it's starting to be more liquid and less chunky, which is kind of what I want. But for a minute, we'll set this aside. Oop. And half a jalapeno, which I'm going to assume to be a tablespoon. So we'll include this in here. Again, we're making a triple batch, so not there. And we'll blend that again. Yeah, some of that did mix in, but there's still more mixing to be done on this. So let's go ahead and I'm going to rinse this other one out because I didn't plan ahead and use it for the onions. I mean, this was the one that I just used for the salsa, so not a huge issue. Alright. Oop. Handle's getting in the way. Alright. There's that. Okay. So we're going to use this one to cut up the red onions. Yes, if you just joined in, I have two of these because I use them in place of a lot of things. I like hand-controlled appliances when possible. My father used to give me a hard time for, even when in his garage, would end up using not so much an impact gun, because when you use an impact gun, it's because you can't get them open, or you can't get the nuts off any other way when you're working on like wheel lugs and things like that. But when other things, I would try to break them free by hand, just because I liked having a little more control over it. And I just felt like it ought to be. I was always worried about breaking things off, you know, studs and things like that. So, alright, we're going to go ahead and start the red onion, of which we need, let's see, 1/4 of a cup, but we're going to need 3/4 of a cup. So, go ahead and slice it down the side, just 1 layer thick. That way you have a place to break off that first layer, so you make sure you get all the dried, thin, papery looking portion of it off. Alright, that's that there. Put it in with the avocados because they're all going into the trash. And so 3/4 of a cup finely chopped. That should be fine enough. No sense in crying over sliced onions. We will break this up by hand a little bit. You can see I'm just peeling out large chunks of it just to save a little bit of time. Where this is a hand mixer, it's not. That worked well. I'll have to grab that in a second. And again, this may end up being, the final measurement is for the amount of red onions you use. Ooh, starting to get to my eyes. Finally, after making the salsa and everything, it's finally getting to me. Come on. Come on, work with me, onion. Ugh. Rough. Ugh. Alright. I'm gonna go wash my hands and then dry them with that paper towel. As a pro tip, if you use a stainless steel spoon and you rub your hands on it, and it works for garlic as well, while you're washing your hands, it diminishes the amount of odor from the onion or garlic that sticks to your hands. I have no idea why it works, but it seems to. Hopefully it's not just a placebo effect, but because if that's the case, then that means alright, let's see where we're at. Getting there. And this is the other beauty part of using one of these, because you don't have to worry about, you know, just the overwhelming tears. Look like you're just, you know, your nose starts running. It's really gross. So when you're cooking or cutting up onions. So I'm going to go ahead and push this back down, give it a little bit more to get any of the large chunks that are straggling. Haven't been sliced up yet. Somehow managed to escape the blades. Even just that little bit, opening it up. I don't know why. Onions kill me as far as my eyes are concerned. Alright. Boom. So, that ought to work. Set that right up out of the way. And we will, yeah, this will be fine. I'm going to use this bowl for the red onions. That is a piece of the other pepper. Over there. And it's definitely the onions that merging with like the lime juice and the peppers really make this work well. And I love the stuff. I always end up making a ton of it, and my son eats a ton of it, and then I eat a ton of it, and you never seem to be able to eat enough of it fast enough before it goes bad, because avocados just like, you know, the clock starts as soon as you start with them. Wow, those onions are rugged. Alright. So this is our avocados. And oh, my nose is running. Onions are no joke. Wash my hands real quick. Alright. I think I'm through the worst of it. I can breathe again. So we need, this is a triple batch, so we're going to go 3/4 of a cup. So I need the 1/4 cup scoop, which is what we used last on the white onions. If we get a little bit of those, it's not a big deal. That's the 1/2 cup. Yeah, I'll do 1/4. Alright. And a 1/4 cup, which is the smaller one here. There. That, and the jalapeno, which I've already put in the peppers, the kosher salt. I did put the lime juice in, the cilantro, which I had to, this is kind of cheating. I'm just fessing up to it now, because I went and they had 0 fresh cilantro left where I pick up groceries. It was just huge bin, tag cilantro, completely empty. And I even asked the dude, I was like, are you guys completely out of cilantro? And he's like, all I have is this paste. And I'm like, paste? And he's like, yeah, it's just cilantro though. Not just cilantro, but apparently it's close. So it has some salt and stuff in it, which not a big deal. A little sea salt. Xanthan gum for thickening, which, you know what? That's what they had. So I need 6 teaspoons, nope, wrong one. 2 tablespoons of cilantro. So, where is my tablespoon? Measuring scoop. That is a teaspoon. What it? Must be in the strainer. I don't know where it went. I will have to find it. Oh, I'm staring right at it. Use that one. This one I used on the peppers that are already in this as well. So, all right. So we need 6 tablespoons of cilantro. So 1, 2, 3, halfway done. Hopefully we have enough here. 4, 5, and I'm assuming this is a little more concentrated than it would be traditionally, because if you're cutting up fresh cilantro, it's not this paste. All right. So there's that. The 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use pink Himalayan salt because that's what I use. A 1/4 teaspoon. So we need a half, well, 3/4 of a teaspoon. So this is a half teaspoon here. And a 1/4 teaspoon, which has salsa all over it. So we're going to go with a half of a half. Truly scientific method for measuring anything. All right. Let's see. I think that's everything. Salt, red onion, cilantro, lime juice. All right, this is where the magic happens, where everything starts to comes together. So. And it's getting there. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a helping hand here. All right. Let's keep her going. And again, this I have a container to put this in that's going to help a lot. And it's getting there. Yeah, that smells really good. That cilantro and the onions really kick it up. All right. This is definitely a workout. Ooh, with a hand crank on this. Definitely want it really smooth and creamy. If you can see there. Let's see, I'm gonna grab a spoon here that just was in the peppers. No, you know what? I'm gonna grab another spoon. I don't want to get one that was all. I have no spoons. I have a teenage son who likes his cereal, but doesn't like to wash spoons. So, let's give it a try. It's good. I think it needs a little more salt. I think I undershot the salt a little bit. I don't want to put too much in, but I think it's gonna wake up the flavor a little bit. Maybe I undershot the lime juice a little bit as well. Oh, there we go. All right. better. Alright, I'm going to go grab that container so I can show you guys what that's all about. This thing solves the main issue of how to store guacamole when you're making it the day before. This is a container called a guac lock, and as much as I hate the abbreviation of guacamole, we're gonna eschew that at the moment. Basically, the way this thing works is it has these locks on the side, which is presumably what it gets its name from. And it's giant. It's basically, you have to pop it out through the bottom like that. It's basically a giant push pop. So what you do is you set that in there, like that, set it in, fill the center, put the guacamole in here, which we may have to eat some of this tonight. I'm just thinking. Pop the vent on the end, put this lid on, can lock it down, and then what you do is you leave this vent open, you put this white piece down underneath, and you push it until all the air comes out, because you can see this is domed slightly. All the air gets pushed out through the top, and then once you have however much guacamole you have left, and because you can reuse this is the good thing about it, because it's the air that oxidizes the guacamole, not so much anything else. Then you just put that thing in there, take this out, and that's however much guacamole you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and, but the thing is, you don't really want to flap that back around. I'm gonna bring this around because it's been collapsed for a little while. So there's that, and we will fill this up. I'm gonna spin this a little more because I want it well and mixed. Alright. Okay. So that is the guacamole. Let's turn that off. And we are going to fit as much of this as we can into this container. And then we're just going to have to eat the rest of it, pretty much. I didn't realize, I thought this container was larger. Which is funny because I've used it before, so it's my fault, but. Alright. Set that there. There's that. I guess it holds more than I gave it credit for at the beginning, but we will need to eat some of this tonight. Alright. There's that. I'll just wipe this off in case there just happened to be anything in it. I washed it and set it aside, but it's always good to wipe things down. Alright. Let's take this spoon. Move it out a little. And again, open the vent first of all. Lock these things down. Again, you don't want to I'm gonna have to take some of this off, but use this here. You know what? I'm actually going to redo that because you're supposed to smooth it out on top before, and that is not what I did. So these tests are for. I'll go rinse this off and push this all back into this container here. And we'll go rinse this off and give it another shot. Dry this off here. All right. All right. So there's that. And the clear section. Try that. And here we go. All right. Let's try this again. Get this out here so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and push this right out through. This seems really lax. So, let me wipe this up here. All right. Put some of this guacamole back in here. Uh-oh. My son's arguing with his cat now. And all right. And I'm going to go ahead and smooth this out so that it will make a good seal here. I'm going to wipe this off, obviously, before I that. Turn this around. Oh, I pushed down on it. Stupid. Alright, let's get this clamped on here. Boom. Look at that. You can see how it's right up top. Sealed pretty solidly against the top of that. Go ahead and put that in, and boom. Right there, you can see the side of it. How there's no air, or very, very little air. There's that right there. And we're going to put the rest of it in Ziploc bags, except for a little bit that we're going to eat. And a little bit that I'm going to stick in a bowl and photograph. Again, for the social media. Alright. So we'll set this in the fridge. Let's take this dressing down here. Oh, guacamole in the fridge. Alright. Let's just get the rest of this out. Boom. So there's that. I'll go dump this out. Go dump it out. I'll just dump it out. Rinse it out. And then put the salsa in the fridge as well. Alright. Alright. Let's get a scoop and put some of the salsa in too. Boom. That is that. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Is the Chipotle guacamole and the Chili's salsa. Boom. These over here back. Let's rotate these around so I can get a good shot of them both. Alright. Boom. Done. Alright. And thank you to everybody for following along. Again, this is chili salsa and chipotle guacamole. Let's give this a try before we sign off. If I can do this without blowing the bag all over the place, that'll be good. There we go. Really? Alright, let's give this a shot. And I'll get my son out here in a second. I don't know if he'll be out here in time to watch on stream, but let's see what we got here. First, we're going to try a little of the guacamole. That is very good. And the salsa. That's really good. And that's going to get even better. I might add a little bit more salt to it, just. That's really good. Wow. Oh, yeah. It's one of those things where as you take more bites, the heat builds. Which is exactly how you want it, in my opinion. So, yes. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off so that I can get everything cleaned up. Because as you can see, I made a huge mess. But, as I like to say, if you're not making a big mess, you're not doing it right. So, I'm going to go ahead and get my son to test some of this out. And we'll see you here next Saturday, roughly around 5. If you want to go ahead and click that follow button, it will send you a notification the next time I go on, so that way you don't have to worry if I'm running 5 minutes late, or if I start 5 minutes early, you'll know exactly when I'm on. So it's a handy feature, and it doesn't cost anything, so that's great. And so with that, I will go ahead and head out. Thanks, have a good weekend, and go Pats.